I don't know about you stone sculptors or sculpture collectors, but one of my biggest fears during exhibition openings was that someone would inadvertently spill some red wine onto the sculpture. Can you imagine the horror? We travel the world searching for the purest, whitest marble, and we spend months carving it, an equal amount of time polishing it in order to achieve the most perfect texture. And then someone, during the exhibition opening, stumbles among the crowd, and the glass of red wine that they were holding in their hand falls down, breaks onto the sculpture, leaving an indelible red stain behind in the marble. Because you see, marble is very porous, so if you pour some red wine onto it, it will absorb the liquid and its pigments. I was always afraid that that would happen, so following the common advice, I had to face my fears. So I started a series of experiments to study the effect of liquids on stone. I played around. I poured liquids on a marble slab. I submerged marble pebbles into jars filled with liquids of different densities, such as milk, honey, wine, sometimes even blood. These are, for example, 2 jars of pebbles that have been filled up with respectively red wine and honey. They have been soaking for over 2 years now. The idea was to open them up and then see how the pebbles would react to the liquid, but I kind of like them as they are like this. So they have become a work in themselves, and I will not open them anytime soon. I vacuum sealed marble pebbles together with liquids. These are some vacuum sealed rocks. This is sealed in milk, I guess. This one is in honey. It's already crystallizing actually. And this one was blood. I think this was blood. Just trying all kinds of different scenarios to see what would happen when you combine a liquid with marble. The experiment kickstarted a series of reasoning that turned into a research about the interaction between stone and liquids. I found out that many cultures across the world have a tradition of pouring liquids onto stone for religious purposes. And of course, it is undeniable that we have a tradition of attributing religious qualities to different liquids. The most obvious is associating wine with Jesus' blood. But I'm not going to develop that now, because that would mean entering a dark path into the human soul and behavior, and that would not fit the playfulness of the work that I want to tell you about. So while doing all these experiments, I was always looking for new ways to combine liquids and stones. And it was while buying groceries during the holidays that I saw this form of blue Stilton cheese with an upside down bottle of fine port placed in its center. Over a period of some weeks, the port wine would flow into the cheese, infusing it with its color and taste. So I decided to apply this lovely English tradition onto marble. And I already had a marble cylinder in my studio by a chance. So I drilled a hole, I opened a bottle of fine wine and placed it upside down into the stone, allowing for the wine to flow into the porous marble. This stone has been absorbing the wine for over a year now, and the effect is incredible. Look, let me show you. This bluish hue clearly shows how the wine has penetrated the stone and is starting to color it from the inside out. Actually, there's some beautiful sunlight over there. Let's move over so that I can show you better what I mean. Okay, so here we are at the table where I usually do my tutorials, but there was a much better light. So you can see how there is a bluish hue on the upper part of the stone, and that is the wine that has been slowly entering it. There is also a very large stain down here, and there is really a color coming from the inside out. And if you look carefully, most of the wine is still in the bottle. So now there is still all this wine that still needs to go into the stone. So I expect it to become almost completely purple at the end, when eventually the wine will completely enter the stone. Now this process has been slow, too slow for the eye to see. And unfortunately, I don't have a time lapse of the process, but I'm planning to make another one of these, and I will regularly take photos of it to document the whole process. Actually, I'm now planning to do a series of these, even a couple of very large marble blocks with many bottles placed into them. We are currently talking to a prestigious wine festival in Italy, and hopefully we will be able to present the series there. What I am still considering is whether to leave the work like this or perhaps remove the bottle after a specific amount of time and then cut the stone open to see what happens. I think that some beautiful patterns could show up. Just like the cheese, I think that some very dark blue veins could be seen going across the purple tinted stone. And those could be revealed by cutting the cylinder in half, in quarters, or perhaps even in cylinders. I'll probably end up doing all of them and even more. Perhaps in concordance with a collector who would want to use the work, or at least the inauguration of the work, the placing of the bottle into the stone, as a way to seal a specific event like a marriage, the birth of a son, the founding of a company, of a museum, or maybe just for the sake of it, without the necessity to attach an event to the occasion. In any case, I'll keep you updated on the process, either here or any of my other social media platforms or websites. Stay tuned, thanks for watching, drink responsibly, and see you next time.